everyone.
What's up guys, Unofficial MCU here, hope you're doing well, and in this video we have a new tease and potential hopes from Iman Vellani into the regards of what the Ms. Marvel Disney Plus show could offer with a potential possible season 2. We're gonna go ahead and hop right on into it. I think for one, we're gonna go ahead and add this to that resume or portfolio that a potential Ms. Marvel season 2 is more likely, I think, moving forward, and is something that not only does Iman Vellani want, but a good handful of the fan base and the fandom of the MCU community do want as well. The Marvel star Iman Vellani had shared who she would love to actually see as the villain for a Ms. Marvel Season 2 if it ever happened. While a continuation of Kamala Khan's Disney Plus show remains unconfirmed for the time being, the MCU character seems to be a clear favorite across the board when it comes to the reception of the Marvel's movie. So far, the hero has gone up against the Clandestines, the Department of Damage Control, and Dar-Ben, making one wonder who will be the next to go up against Kamala Khan. In a recent exclusive interview with Iman Vellani, with The Direct spoke with the Marvel's actress behind Kamala Khan about which villain she hopes that could appear in a hypothetical Ms. Marvel Season 2 over on Disney Plus. When asked, Vellani was quick to suggest Doc X, someone she feels would be really resonant with the Gen Z audience. She says that, in quote, "Definitely Doc X. I think that's a great villain from the comics, and I can really resonate with the Gen Z audience. It would be so interesting. I don't know, messing with kids' psyche almost when you have this villain who only exists on your phone or on your laptops and all of the screens that we can't avoid. I think it'd be really interesting and a really interesting position to put them all into a fight against something that you can't really even see, right? Yeah, that's one of my favorite comic storylines, so I would love to see that play out." I mean, that quote right there. It's almost kind of like an Age of Ultron reboot to a point, but not as crazy or not as much as like an Avengers level threat per se, but I definitely do think that it would be a very interesting and cool idea to see play out in a hypothetical Ms. Marvel Season 2. And I also love how she's quick to give an answer for that, like this is something that she's been thinking about in the back of her mind. She's like a huge Marvel fan, which is something I also really absolutely love. She's also quick to give it a reason, like as of to, well, why would you pick this villain to be the one for that? And she's quick to give that answer of like, well, look at the audience for my show, for Ms. Marvel, and how they're, you know, this audience, this generation, Gen Z, is kind of about phones and being on social media and things of that kind of nature, is something I think that they could resonate quite a bit with when it comes to this villain. At the same time, though, remember, as I had mentioned, it feels very similar in a way to what the villain of Ultron was in the Avengers Age of Ultron movie, but not to that, like, necessarily threat level. In the Marvel comics, Doc X is an artificial intelligence and sentient computer virus, which comes into contact with Kamala Khan through her online gaming, and eventually goes on to blackmail Ms. Marvel into doing what he wants, or what it wants. The last time viewers saw Ms. Marvel was when she was on a Disney Plus streaming show. Now the hero is headlining a blockbuster film. That's quite a shift. What was that change like exactly for the actress Iman Vellani and her character? It didn't feel that crazy of a transition that she admits through. She was quick to appreciate the more constant production schedule of the Marvel's movie though as well, saying that, in quotes, "Honestly, it didn't feel that crazy of a transition. I went from the Ms. Marvel Disney Plus show, and only a weeks later, I went to London to film the movie. I think because the movie was like, we weren't on location all the time, or at all really, so it was really nice to actually have more of a schedule going on with that." Ending that quote right there. Iman Vellani compared it to more of a hectic time on the Ms. Marvel Disney Plus show though at the same time, where they'd be waking up at 5 a.m. and then 5 p.m., another day of night shoots. She says that, in quote, "Whereas on Ms. Marvel, we were waking up at 5 a.m. one day and then 5 p.m. on another day for night shoots, and then we were in Thailand to film like 2 episodes. It was like one of the most hectic schedules ever, so it was really nice to kind of have like that routine and to be in London and on the studio for the Marvels." Ending that quote right there. Another big difference between these two worlds and how these two, projects, the Marvels and the Ms. Marvel Disney Plus show, utilizes the volume technology, as seen in the Mandalorian for Star Wars, by which if you are a Star Wars fan, we have our Star Wars channel linked in the description down below, but also other Marvel movies like Thor: Love and Thunder recently, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. She says that in quote, and I think the craziest part of the film was like this tech. We leveled up like crazy. I think we got to use the volume technology, which was super cool. It really elevated the entire filmmaking experience for me. You know, it's funny, like the most exciting scenes that you see in the movie are probably the most boring or like the technical ones, or even embarrassing scenes that we're filming in real life. I mean, that quote right there. She joked around about how doing some of those scenes in front of a green screen can feel embarrassing to film. She says that in quote, you know, it's like in front of a green screen, it's dead silence, and then you're like dangling from a harness with dots on your face in midair, and it's just like so embarrassing because you have to remind yourself, oh, you're saving the world, but don't forget you're blocking, and don't move too much because they're gonna make the background move behind you, and oh, what it's like being on this alien planet, like how much gravity is there, you know, things like that. Only that quote right there. But with the volume technology, Iman Vellani explained that it adds just a little bit more of a realism to it that you need to kind of fully immerse yourself into that fantasy. She appreciates that in quote, so there's like your mind is doing like a multitasking cartwheel, but with the volume it's just like it adds that slight like realism to it, just a little bit of a realism that you need to kind of fully immerse yourself into that fantasy of a world that they've created. So it was very cool to see that out for me on the film. Ending that quote right there. There are many changes in Kamala Khan's life in the Marvels movie as well, in universe, but one of those is how she gets a brand new superhero suit at the same time as well. But whatever happened to her original outfit, created by her mother, remains a bit of a question. She reveals that, in quotes, Iman Vellani confirmed that it's safe, and Kamala now has two suits actually. She says that, in quotes, it's safe. She changed at home. If you remember, she changed into that flannel look after, so why did she change? I don't really know, but she changed, so she can get a new suit. So now she has like two suits. I think it's good. We're expanding the closet a little bit more. Getting that quote right there, almost into reference to Spider-Man having multiple suits. This year all being said, an initial, takeaway, an overall conclusion, is Doc X a good fit for the future of the MCU for one? Like, is it too soon in comparison to Avengers Age of Ultron? Or for another, is it something that would actually work in a Ms. Marvel Season 2 over on Disney+? It would be interesting to see how Marvel Studios would and could implement Doc X, a tougher, computer virus or AI, in a unique way, especially in this day and age, while it does fit well for the Gen Z audience, as Iman Vellani points out. It would be, not a first time an evil AI would show its face in the MCU, as I had mentioned. Perhaps it could be some type of offshoot of Ultron, I think is an amazing idea, and something that would be really cool to see. This would give fans some fun connective tissue and provide the AI with an established foundation to really work with and off of. Another angle that could be it is that an AI inspired off of Ultron's belief in time of the world, and it'll be doing anything it can do to bring him back to reality, trying to bring Ultron back into like the MCU pretty much. Other potential picks for Season 2, villains for a Ms. Marvel Disney Plus show, could be the likes of The Inventor, Kaboom, or Storm Ranger, and so many other ones. There's a variant of Kang the Conqueror who has a history with Kamala Khan as well in the comics, so perhaps that storyline could be explored and expanded on more in the future. But first, for any of that to actually happen, a Season 2 has to be greenlit for Ms. Marvel, the odds of which don't look so great after the performance of the Marvels movie, but that isn't to compare it to the Disney Plus show. Fans should keep their fingers crossed for more of Iman Vellani's Ms. Marvel. This year all being said, guys, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been an official MCU. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. Peace out.